Quebec exists. Sorry, Quebec. I love you guys. Let's just lock this. Lock this. We'll leave this locked too. Gonna go back here. Lock this. I'm gonna double check up here. Yes, I did block that off, so this doesn't matter. There's no open holes. Okay, okay, okay. So now it's literally just this door. Unless I'm forgetting a way into my fortress. Are we talking about Canada now, Celestine? I guess you've never been in a fight before, hey? The term elbows up tends to just mean, like, form a wall, be tough. So generally, when you see that term being thrown around, it's because... Where is this? Just put a different one on this one. I may have doubled them up. Generally, when you see the term elbows up, it's referring to, you know, stand your ground. I find it to be quite a self-explanatory statement. And because apparently we're just in politics o'clock now, in regards to Canada going elbows up, it means, yeah, well, eye for an eye, you try and fuck with us and we'll say goodbye to your electricity. Apparently. Which, not to say that I like it, but it's the reality that we're in. And stretch all the way. And they're trying to take over the whole ocean. If we give them enough time, eventually they will. Mine minted. Okay, so we've got a woodworker artifact getting started, and the siege is coming. Which means I've got to lock everybody in here, and hopefully that woodworker doesn't immediately go insane. Nope. Okay, well, that's good. And I've got to go to this and lock this. I've also got to go out to here and hit this, go to you, and say, yeah, just back up. I've also got to go down to here. Get rid of all of this. All of this. I'm not positive this is going to work, so we're just going to have to cross our fingers and hope that it works. I'm going to go down here real quick. And do that. And allow this to be in here. Now let's see where the goblins are currently. Fighting with gazelles. Excellent. Oh no, I don't want them to go through here. Ooh, shit. Because I don't want them to just go in there and get caught in the traps. I mean, two of them will, but... I think they actually figured out how banks work, Corpse Man. Also, those mermaids have a family. You don't get to claim ownership of them like that. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this lever. Another one. Good lord! The forgotten beast Dushirir Burnsmanurst has come. A gigantic, scaly tarantula. Well, that's terrifying. It has a knobby shell and it undulates rhythmically. Its azure scales are oval-shaped and overlapping. Beware its poison bite. So... thankfully, the front door is closed, so it can't get to me. At least not without going through the defensive hall. Then don't live where the unicorns live, silly. But I digress. Blue scaly shelled tarantula. It kind of sounds like a metal album cover. If nothing else. Meanwhile, the animal trainer has created a lignite ring and called it Rotigus Shadmal. And offers it to us. I will give it to my mayor. Okay, so they inherited a bunch of banks then. Okay, so this thing's gonna go murk a bunch of goblins as they're coming into the fort. Okay, well, they killed it real fast. Jeez. Also, okay, so this goblin has officially inherited my favorite last name of any goblin I've seen recently. Doomrats. It seems that Nagam here killed it by bashing the Forgotten Beast in the Sepio-thorax. So we're now officially about to test this. Who's ready? It's not a very large goblin army, so it's a good test subject. But who's ready to test my weapons? Because if you're ready, I'd like to see a vile force of darkness in my chat. And I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hi in YouTube chat. Your name starts with an S. I know that much. Actually, more like it's time for my dwarves to not pull the levers quick enough and then die. But we'll see. We will see. This is eventually going to become a large ramp going all the way to the surface, so it's kind of what I want to do with this. So when they hit here, I will start firing. Well, here they come. Here they come. I wonder if dwarves gain injuries while skidding around in a minecart. Because I theoretically could make my military ride these down. But it's like the equivalent of airdrop troopers. I'm also a little worried that I fucked this up by not digging these all the way down. They might just fall down a layer and then hit this wall. But we'll see. We will see. All right. Here we go. First one goes. We'll follow the one in the lead. Oh, so it is, in fact, my fear was true. So I'm just going to place my entire military right here. I do need to dig the whole thing down another level. Plan B, military. I mean, very successful test fire. I will say that much. Very successful test fire. I will try and hit them, though. Interesting. They've ended up in midair. Did you know that minecarts stack? Oh, shit, it is going to work. Hold on. Also, there's 2 minecarts right here, so I need to fix that. Oh, maybe it isn't. I was hoping it would fire these off the top. Well, let's fire the last one because I can. And then pull them all and get them all back up. Nope. Will not, in fact, work. But I can, in fact, tell my military to go here, and they will end them all pretty quickly. What is going on? You missed it? I can't... Chat, give Bastet the TLDR. I don't know how to make this very self-explanatory thing that's going on more self-explanatory. It's also in the title of the stream, if that helps. All right, let's go through all of this. And all of those go up. Minecart hit wall, blind sad. True, fact. Last bit, yes. Well, I mean, I kind of did it to myself, really. I just needed to do this first. That's all I needed to do, was just finish digging this all out. But I didn't. So I get to cry on my own mistakes. I didn't dig deeply or greedily enough. Well, I mean, I don't know if I didn't dig deeply and greedily enough. Are these going to collapse when things haul them? Fuck me, I hope not. An anti-Moria, if you will. A committed anti-Moria. I always put food and drink stockpiles in trees to take care of stranded herbalists. It's tedious, but someone tries to help. Oh, that's funny. I have not had a problem with dwarves getting stuck in trees in a very long time. Because almost always the cause of it is dwarves get spooked easily by monsters, and then they get stuck in a tree when they get spooked. I generally, knock on wood, don't end up in situations where my military is going to get spooked like that. possible these are all actually going to get forbidden by the digging. I wonder if a ski jumping situation is possible. Well, I mean, I was planning on making this 2Z levels high anyway, so I could also use Mark's dwarves. So have dwarves patrolling back and forth and shooting down in here. But obviously that didn't end up working out in my favor because, you know, I was in the process of building this stuff. Oh, the other thing I got to do is I got to open up this. Oopsies, went too high. Got to open up this spot. Was non-military dwarves that had business on the surface, like loggers or herbalists or fisher dwarves or hunters? No. Well, I mean, okay, so a dwarf doesn't just get stuck in a tree of their own accord. That doesn't really work. It doesn't really work that way. However, dwarves can and do and will get scared up trees. Like, they'll get startled up a tree by a monster. So usually that only happens if there's active threats on the surface. If there's active threats on the surface, I don't generally let my dwarves go to the surface, like, at all, for any reason. So, like, if you're in an Untamed Wilds map, just as an example, and there's, like, giant birds everywhere attacking your dwarves, I generally don't give those creatures the opportunity to attack my dwarves, which is why I don't usually run into that. The other thing is harvesting food from trees, like tree gather zones. These, gather fruit. If you set this up, and you accept it, there's 3 different buttons. Gather fruit in trees. Okay. This requires a step ladder. The problem is then dwarf grabs step ladder and run away while other dwarf in tree still if you don't have enough step ladders. So I just disable that whenever I use that. And then they don't go into the trees. And then dwarf don't steal their step ladder. It's one of the two, George. It's always either step ladders or trees. Or things being scared up into trees. Because I've literally seen an elephant get startled by a small creature so badly that they then run and get stuck in a tree. I've seen that happen. Like a random wild elephant just gets startled up a tree. I've seen that happen in Dwarf Fortress. Also, don't ask me why this KV boar can breathe underwater, but apparently it can. That KV is supernatural and doesn't need oxygen. You didn't even know that you could gather tree fruits? Why? What? I have a question. What did you think that step ladders were for? They're clearly not for traversing up and down Z levels. I don't think any stock or any zone options are persistent. They all reset if you edit the stockpile in any way. To rescue stuck merchants? Fair. I mean, that's a fair assumption. Your wife wanted what? Oh, to get the tomato sauce jar off the top shelf. Is that why? I mean, I guess dwarves. I guess in Dwarf Fortress, everybody would need a step ladder, right? That or they just make their shelves short enough that there isn't really an issue. Or maybe it's just so that we can make these jokes about, like, what are you doing, step ladder? Because that's what I think to myself every single time I see a step ladder just vanish from where it should be. The internet has destroyed my brain. And if that ain't proof of it, then I don't know what is. Step ladder, you're not my real ladder. I mean, you're certainly not a ladder. Yeah, same here, Ilmirin. Same here. Whenever I use that, I only ever really use that feature if it's like a surface fort and there's just trees everywhere. I really wish that the cavern mushrooms gave off something that was edible, because I think that that would be a fun reason to use them. It also looks like I can stack multiple minecarts in places, so I could just keep making minecarts and keep stacking them on top of things. Because there was 2 minecarts fired out in one spot, and it was totally fine. The problem is my minecart UI is going to be completely unusable. Like, completely unusable. Thank you. It's an aquifer canal. Comes out of this aquifer up here. I was just going to use the river, but I kind of didn't bother. So it goes all the way down into here. Now we can make pretty little rivers going through the fort if I want. Presuming it doesn't start draining too quickly. I don't know what that means, Zilmiran, but okay. I presume it means something to do with, like, fruits and veggies, right? Step ladders are for exercise. You know, you're not wrong. Although I feel like dwarves spend enough time running up and down stairs in most forts that, like, do they really need it? Because I don't know if they do. Dwarves must have amazing cardio. Yeah, this is true. Are there enemies that can swim and climb walls? I mean, there's plenty of, like, unfriendly creatures that are aquatic. I guess technically all zombies would count as that. Climb walls? Just about anything can climb a wall if they have 2 free hands. It's just climbing is a skill, and smooth walls are hard to climb. If you don't smooth your walls or build boulder walls, which are quote-unquote rough walls, you'll have a lot of things climb into your fort. A friend of mine, Bellinair, was streaming Dwarf Fort a while ago, and his fort that he made was into the top of a volcano. Basically, like, he had a surface volcano that was just flat, flush with the ground, built around the sides of it, dug down in, and then built a wall around the top. And things just climbed onto the wall on top and then down the sides, shooting bolts down in them. And all of his dwarves died in, like, a firing range. Which, kind of funny. Yeah, no, overhangs make things unclimbable. So I think a lot of people kind of absent-mindedly make unclimbable walls. Trees are very climbable. To the point where they don't even give experience. That's how climbable they are. So hopefully that answers your question, Porcelain. We're in an ad, so I will pause game until ad done. Also, since we're in an ad, now's a good time for me to check my minimums. See where we're at. As I said, I would update in an hour. You're $31 away from my daily minimum. Getting there. $10 in Prime subs today. Thanks, guys. It's like twice yesterday. You're going for a walk? You need to get outside and touch some grass. Well, technically snow. Yeah. Yeah. It has a similar issue with mice in your garden and bird food? Yeah, oh, absolutely. No, I do think a lot of people absent-mindedly end up making unclimbable walls in Dwarf Fort. I primarily use Twitch as my math for that. Like, my Twitch revenue as my math for that. I mean, coffee donations do work towards it, but I don't check those generally. Coffee's actually, like, annoyingly unclear as to how much money somebody actually gave you. Like, the only way for me to check is by literally opening up PayPal and looking. But I specifically keep coffee as, like, the I don't track that until after revenue source. It's if you want to give money to me without being public and loud about it. I mean, Streamlabs is the way you tip money, and I know immediately. So if somebody gives me money with Streamlabs, or with coffee, I generally don't know until after the stream because there's no notifications for it. But my daily minimums are generally processed based off of YouTube revenue and Twitch revenue. When I feel like playing Caves of Cud is when I plan to play Caves of Cud again. Hope that meets my minimum. Well, I have to subtract 40% from it because that's what YouTube keeps approximately. But thank you. We're close. There was a super chat in the YouTube chat. I don't know why you went through YouTube instead of Twitch, but you do you, man. Anyways, at the end of the day, this is a business and I gotta pay my bills. If that's what you're talking about, ergo goodies. I stream full-time as a job, and I don't take sponsorships. So, occasionally I will talk about a thing called my daily minimum, which essentially means, even though it's no longer technically minimum wage, it means that I've made minimum wage for what minimum wage was back when I worked minimum wage. And if I stream for 8 hours and hit my daily minimum, I make enough that it was worth the stream, or worth streaming. If I don't hit my daily minimum, then, well, I probably shouldn't have streamed that long. You gonna walk now? All right. I really, really, really fucking hate the way YouTube does super chats, Big Bang, because it's extremely unclear to the audience how much is actually being given. For one thing, it doesn't convert currencies into people's local currency. That's the first problem I have with it. And the second problem I have with it is they don't tell you what their cut is. And it changes sometimes, which is fun. I'll be like, oh, this is your revenue. It's like, oh, this country has a bigger like conversion fee. It's like, oh, great. Awesome. So usually you end up getting about 65 to 60% of whatever the super chat amount is. What about bits? With bits, Twitch, you pay Twitch at the beginning. So when you purchase bits, Twitch has already taken its cut. So if somebody gives me $1 in bits, which is 100 bits, that's $1 US, which makes it very cut and dry. Like, it kind of sucks because you guys have to stare at how much Twitch is taking. I'd rather you know how much Twitch is taking than the YouTube alternative, which is, well, I mean, they take an amount. Who knows how much? So that converts to CAD? Yeah. Well, everything is... I presumed it was in USD because, you know, it says dollars. It's usually USD if it says dollars. But anyway, enough about the money. I do have to test this again. Also need to get all these materials out of here at some point. What do you think of this? Chat, what do you think I should add to it? Because this is as far as I'm concerned, a pretty cool looking defense. I mean, we've still got to do this spiral entryway. We've got to clear out this as well. But, and we got to keep going up and probably do another spiral. Probably going this way. No, well, I'm going to have to go a little further that way. But we'll keep it going up and it'll go all the way up and out. Popping up around here. Could use more jet. I need to go mine more jet then. I'm using, like, this stuff because it's everywhere. Chert, however you're supposed to say it. That's called a subathon or a funding-a-thon or a marathon or whatever. Minstrel. Yeah. No, I mean, totally. It's the reason I usually just say thanks for the money because, like, half the time I don't even know what currency people are tipping in. And it's annoying because, like, if you... On YouTube, if you donate a larger amount of currency, it doesn't matter what it converts to in the person's local currency. You can pin things to the top for a really long period of time. So people are, like, incentivized to use currencies that are not their currency because it'll stay at the top longer. So like somebody could join the stream and then tip 5,000 money that equals 9 cents here. And then it sits at the top of the stream for the rest of the stream and there's no way to get rid of it. It's like kind of awful. Needs more menacing spikes. We could do some menacing spikes. We could do some stuff with spikes, certainly. Vertical spikes. I also need a library is another thing I need. As I was saying, I was going to build a library. Question is just where do I put it? Could put it over here. Maybe do like a little... Actually, why don't we put the library over here? Maybe even make it 2 levels high in some places. Kind of looks like a funky shaped toilet. Got to remove that aesthetic. Put 2 pillars on the top half and make it a ghost. I like the way it looks. We'll leave it as is. All right, let's unpause game and let her do her thing. Like how they've all claimed those nest boxes, but we're just eating the eggs too quickly. Your bad Noida habit? What? What's wrong with your bad Noida habit? I'm very curious. What exactly is a bad Noida habit? Although, the funny thing to say in this question is, which habit? Ha, ha, ha. But no, seriously, what? Nothing can climb overhangs. If you need me to repeat myself, nothing can climb an overhang. Something that can fly could fly over an overhang, but nothing can climb an overhang. Hopefully that answers your question, Orc. In Noida, everything breaks up and is impossible to put back, and I can just build walls and don't care about the natural earth as much? So wait, what's the habit you're trying to break? I mean, I very much care what the natural earth looks like. So I'm not sure how I'm helping you break that habit, but happy to help, I guess. Got class in the morning? Do what you gotta do, mate. Classes to become a tourist guide? Can I ask where? Also, that's a class you have to take? I thought that's just I've lived here for a long time and I'm not mean. But I presume that's a gig with more effort put into it than I'm giving it credit for. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Although I will say, if you're playing with in ASCII, you still see the results of your mistakes. It's an upward slope. That's a downward slope. So this one goes away. Downward slope. Upward slope. This one can also go away. This one can also go away. That can also go away. That's correct. That's correct. All right, and now I'm getting them to make 2 more stoneworkers shops so we can just get them working on all these boulders around them. Shadow Observer, thanks for the 18th month. Welcome back. Let's see if YouTube's updated yet, and then it'll tell me how far I am from the minimum. It hasn't done the conversion or their cut thing. Also, another complaint about YouTube's dashboard process is it gives you the full amount for like an hour, and then it subtracts the conversion fee and YouTube's cut after the fact, after it's been a chunk of time. So like, if you're streaming on YouTube and getting a lot of super chats, you get to watch your revenue come in, and then you get to watch YouTube take its cut in real time, which really sucks. The Forgotten Beast, or a Forgotten Beast, has come. Yet another one. This one is a towering 3-eyed hornbill. It has a round shell and a bloated body. Its gray feathers are long and broad. Beware its poison vapor. All right, well, this one's seriously injured. Apparently it killed a Forgotten Beast, as well as some blind cave ogres and some dwarves a long time ago. It's in the lower cavern layer. And is it coming towards me? That's the question. Good luck on that investment, Sarlacc. Building destroyers cannot destroy built walls. They can destroy lowered bridges and built buildings, basically. So like doors, hatches, if they're on the same level as said hatch as well. These beasts have more vapors than these beasts have more vapors than most skateboard parks that I've been to recently. Well, if you attack me, you attack me. If you don't, you don't. I'm hoping you don't. If you're talking about like a assigned zone, chaotic painkiller, you can make, one second, you can make multiple zones and assign the same building to them over multiple Z levels. So this could be this assign. You could go up 1 level and then add another zone to the same location, but you can't do that with like pen pastures, as an example. Ergo Goodness, thank you very much for the $30 in bits. We've cleared the daily minimum and streamer can stop bitching now. Appreciate you greatly. Jack, can I get a big round of beers for that? It means a lot. It does. Really does. Thanks much. And also thanks for the 94 people watching on the YouTubes and for the 209 here on Twitch. Turn from the lurk. Burr. Burr away. You know, it's like, I know I'm Canadian, but you don't need to tell me that it's cold in here all the time. Sheesh. I don't want to do too much construction on that second layer right now. Let's just do this. And orc with a bow, you would like a dwarf. What kind of dwarf would you like? So when you say marks with an X, you mean a dwarf in the Marks Dwarf squads, right? I will also note that every single religious leader in this fortress is a dwarf that was already named, that happened to be available, because that's how I do religious leaders. So it's actually quite difficult to just appear in my chat and be like, I want to be the leader of this religion, because most likely I did the thing that I usually do, which is just, give it to a dwarf that's already named. Because there's something kind of fun about giving somebody in chat a promotion. But hold on, let me just finish setting all this floor up. You want a Marks Dwarf, got it. Have you died miserably yet? Were you even in this fort, Star Schultz? I thought that... I don't think you've had a dwarf in this fort yet. You may have. But I thought that the last fort you had a dwarf in was the last one. The reclaimed fort that we did. Which is different from this fort. Deep Gift, you are a deader. You died to one of the various Forgotten Beast raids. Forgotten Beast raids. Beast raids. Okay, so... which one do you want, Orc? Them's your options. Black smoke, no pope. White smoke, we got a pope. Sulfuric smoke. Oh no, they dug too deeply and greedily. I mean, they gotta, like, make space in that tiny plot of land somehow, right? As you can tell, based on their very alive leader, the Marks Dwarves have a pretty good track record of survival. Orc with crossbow never feels discouraged even after sleeping in the middle of the tavern. He isn't particularly curious about the world, and he tends to hang on to grievances. He generally finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future and can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. He is often nervous and doesn't handle stress well. He's brave in the face of imminent danger and has little interest in joking around. He is stubborn and he tends to be passive in discussions. He needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't care about much anymore. He personally thinks that introspection is valueless and finds that those that waste time with self-examination to be deluded fools, and values romance and cunning. He likes gypsum plaster and bismuth as well as bismuth bronze, and black zircon and coconut palm wood, and the color pale blue. The words of the crested wall, and when possible prefers to consume giant dragonfly and dwarven ale and buckwheat seeds, and absolutely hates purring maggots. He has a broad body, bearing impressive muscles and a great load of fat. His hair is straight, and his long beard is braided. He's probably very tough. He is strong and not easily depressed. Both of these things are good. He wants to make romance and have friends. Me too. Relatable. Your one friend is dead, and you have a bunch of dead passing acquaintances. You've been in the fortress since 372, so you've been here for 2 years. Snatcher? Think of the child. Oh, well, when the snatcher becomes the snatched. Rip. Rip that guy. I need to remember to do that more. Should we just call him Orcish Bowmaster? Something like that. But that would also imply that he's good at it. Hey, look, mask delivery. And cape delivery. And is crying. Oh no. And now he's covered in sweat. That's also their first time here. Also a citizen of the least nightmares as well. Oh, here come the soldiers. Seems that Datan here is on the case. Chasing that goblin. And, unexisting the goblin. By slashing the goblin thief in the head. Causing the injured part to sail off in an arc. Thanks for the free bag, man. Somebody gets a fancy mask out of it, too. Okay. We're gonna eat some lambs. And baby goats. Because, surprise, I've got too many. We're also going to start eating some tortoises. You're finally in your new house. Congratulations on the move. Hope the move went smooth. I'm building railguns. Probably. I mean, they're considered a finished good. Just because dwarves can't make them, that might cause issues, but I don't know. I've never really tried. I'm just kind of accepting that they're going to be wearing them because there was so many that came out of the vault. Although they are going to be a source of really bad moods. So that was very simple. So just do this. Then just do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. One, two, three. Goop. It's kind of funny that I'm prepping a fortress that could theoretically get wagons from the mountain home in a fortress where I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna have wagons from the mountain home. Mountain home's getting excited. They're seeing all the right infrastructure being put in place, and it's not gonna run through. Haven't used your PC in a week? Oh man. Yeah, it took me 3 days to get my computer set up when I moved here. Is this like a upwards move or a horizontal move? Draining. Like, are you moving to a bigger space or smaller space, or are you just moving? Strixa the Holy Gorge has been elected mayor. So, who killed my mayor? Oh. Uh-oh. Well, that answers that. So what happened to my mayor? Well, about that. They had a long, happy life in power and are no longer in power. Thankfully, Jasper's already here and ready and is a skilled spear dwarf at this point and stabs the Forgotten Beast in the lower leg with her metal spear. As far as dwarves that have died, it was the mayor Katan and Shorast, who is... The dwarves are now fending off the creature, and the creature falls. Did you get the kill? The Lustful, the Forgotten Beast. Yes, it looks like Jasper here was able to get the kill. Now, since you ingested a whole bunch of toxic fumes, we'll have to find out. Uh-oh. 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 That's no good. That's also no good. Although this one I think is curable. Basically, she's rotting in real time, and it's making her give off miasma. You know? Okay, so I've got 2 dwarves with it now. Three dwarves with it. The unconscious part is rough. Because it might put them into a coma. Meanwhile, the humans have arrived from a caravan. Advanced rot. Well, do I have buckets in here? I need soap. I also need to go up to here. Go dining hall and office. For these two. Strixa Trixa, our new mayor. Anarende, her husband. Strix, did you have any other gigs? Nope, but my bookkeeper is now dead. Croc is now becoming my bookkeeper. Croc can go live there. How's it going? Oh, it's going. Ended up being a short walk. Now the sidewalks are cleared and it isn't safe to walk on the main streets. I'm going to make you jealous for a second. It is currently 10 degrees Celsius and clear skies here. It's part of the reason I moved here. But it's going all right, Alexane. How about yourself? And that's a very normal temperatures for here at this time of year. Clockwork Dragon. Unless you're stuck in ads, in which case, whoops. Just gonna queue up clothing. It's been 18C? Oh, damn. That's pretty warm. The snow will melt quickly, and the city decided to not plow anything because they are cheap and think it will melt quickly. When I first moved here at the beginning of February, it was -10, and we had like 3 days of just ice everywhere. But within a few days, it was all gone, which was nice. But it's 48F here. All right. That's not too much cooler than it is here, but it's a little bit cooler than here. It's like 8 degrees, I think, Celsius. I'm also going to build a cage that doesn't have anything in it, and I'm going to put some tame tortoises in it. So I presume they need tombs. Erdem, are you dead? Why do you have a tomb, yet you're already dead? Or yet you're not dead? Can they claim tombs now? Wow, they can. Holy shit. Anyway, do families visit tombs? Not really. I think it's kind of a shame, actually. Yeah, but I didn't assign them to living dwarves. I don't do that. Well, the reign of Strixatrixa begins. At least, I don't think I did. Maybe I did that unintentionally, but... I wonder, that must be a recent fix, Shy Pandemonium. It's a little windy here. Tomorrow it might be a lot windy. Does anybody here watch Josh I'm blanking on his first name now. It's like Josh Rossman or whatever his name is. The guy who uploads videos about right to repair stuff, and then also his cat. Put up a video the other day of like his cat trying to kill a moth, and then him trying to put the moth outside, and then the wind sucking his door shut and breaking his door frame. That's what you make me think of when you say a lot windy. Why do I put altars off 1Z level individually? Why do I put altars off 1Z level individually? I'm not sure what you mean by altars. I put everything like the way I put it because it looks neat. Like the answer to almost any question about why I build a thing the way I build it is because I think it looks cool. So that's why. A lot windy equals cyclone making landfall. Ah, so yeah, literally door getting here. I'll go find the video that I'm talking about because it's going to bug me if I don't. I'll just link it in both chats. Give me a sec. I'm also apparently bad with people's first names. Just got to scroll through my YouTube chat. Lewis Rossman, that's his name, not Josh. I'm confusing two YouTubers. I'm an idiot. Anyway, speaking of idiots, there's a silly cat being silly. I mean, sometimes I care about efficiency. Speaking of efficiency, some of you might remember a couple days ago, I commented about a sudden loud music coming into my apartment, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So what that is there's a guy that drives up and down the road, or rides up and down the road, I should say, on a bicycle. And behind the bicycle, he's got a wagon. And in the wagon, he's got a giant battery and a full-size concert monitor in the back of it, like the 2-meter tall speakers. Just one of those in the back of it, just blasting metal. And you know what? If he's willing to pull that up that hill, more power to him. Freeways, thank you very much for the 46th month. Welcome back. And also for the tier 3. Holy shit, dude. Thank you. Because I just got, no apparent reason, Metallica'd. What a character. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is a mud blob that shoots webs. We got a forgotten beast named Fethothamwami. Has come a gigantic blob composed of mud. It has a straight tail and a gaunt appearance. Beware its webs. Well, I'm just gonna turn this on. Lock the dwarfs inside. I'm gonna go to, see, you guys may see a problem and a threat to the fortress's safety. Where you see a problem and a threat to the fortress's safety, I see an opportunity to test my cannons again. We are the same, but not the same. Maybe I shouldn't get them to pull this lever just yet.
Well, in that case.
Speaking of the tier 3s, Audio, thank you very much for the 93rd month. Way to make free rates feel insignificant. Thank you very much for the 93 months. Hope you're doing well, dude. Hope life's been good to you. All right, let's just erase all these. Can a mechanism break? Traps can jam, traps can break. Correct, and correct. Doesn't count, he falls since 2015. I mean, does it though? Anyway. Busy night shift. Are you still doing the same stuff for work? It's been a minute, Audio. I presume so based on that sentence though, but. Yeah, teaching me why I should hate airports and which ones I should hate. It's okay, I already hate airports. Six years more airport Factorio? Jeez. 6 years, hey? You are the person with the most legitimate reason to be uninterested in playing Factorio, though, I do gotta admit. Like, I like to think it's me, but no, it's actually you. Okay, so that goes thunk. Oops. There's the old mud puddle. Let's see if I can trade, which I probably should be able to. Trade. Grab those bars. Ooh, I'm gonna grab those blocks. For the rough hematite blocks. I'm actually just gonna buy their bags, because I've got some useful things in them. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Beep, 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 beep. Scrolling through. Oh, buy the barrels. Although I should make a bunch of cheese. All right. I'm gonna say send it. And then down here, we wait for the beastie to show up. You bought Factorio. Oh, really? And played a run on Peaceful? All right. You don't like the alien attack shit in that game. Fair enough. Cats are great, dude. Your cat loves one of your necklaces specifically and will manage to pluck just one out of the pile of necklaces on your desk without making a mess, and he always just gets me that one. That's kind of adorable. Okay, so here I was thinking, well, the Forgotten Beast will surely come and attack me. No, it's just going to leave and go to the surface. I guess I have to lock it in. Not what I was expecting to have to do. Speaking of beasts, where's this other one now? This one's a scaly armadillo. It is ravening. Beware. It's also got deadly blood. So now there's two of them. This one's icky, in fact. Boy, oh boy. Why is there, like, no trees over here? That's actually a little weird. Like, there's so many over here, but, like, none right here. Odd. Okay, so I have a weird feeling this one's just gonna die to the other one. Well, here comes the other one. There goes this. Oh, come on. Where are you going? Why are you turning around? Oh, you're gonna go murder the sheep. Well, okay. Sure. I suppose... Now, where's that other beast at? Okay, you're still in the puddle. Got it. Mechatronics? I don't know what that means. I'm just going to presume that you built Gundams. Or you work for the clans. All right, so we get to shoot minecarts at the first one. Uh-oh. Where exactly are you going to slaughter that beast, if I can ask? Do I have a slaughter shop out here somewhere? I must. Also, is everybody in the burrow? Oh. Dwarf, you may have made a grave mistake. I'm not sure there's anything I can do. Oh. Meanwhile, this guy shows up. Ghost Crystal. Icky. His friends call him. And finish up the mess. So, when he hits like right here, I'm just going to start firing off the launchers. Because here he goes. And before he moves too quick. Oh no, what are you doing? Run away. Well, they went right over its head, so... it works. I just need a slower moving foe. Thankfully, the one that's a true threat, the one with webs, is no longer here, so... It's now just this guy who's, you know, got deadly blood. What are you running away from fear from? Go the other way. Okay. Your choice there, Dwarf. So, Kib, the militia captain, who's the militia captain of the Safe Roughness, my extra squad, or my secondary squad, is now fighting hand in hand, very satisfied after improving their skill with their axe, and dodging around the enemy as best they can as they hack them to pieces. A bolt is in midair right there, which has been loosed by Orc, who happens to have a crossbow that is part of his namesake, and is now fighting with said creatures. The creature is getting hacked up pretty quickly. It seems like my Hammer Dwarf and Spear Dwarf are all doing quite a bit of damage to it. The problem is well, you're not covered in the blood. You are covered in tears, however. You are covered in blood. How about you? You are also covered in blood, and you are also covered in dwarf blood. Dwarf blood? Your sweat, not blood. So you're safe. However, how about you? This dwarf here got injured, Olan, and is now starting to bleed. Uh-oh. So you keep on and off bleeding. Uh-oh. Olan the Papermaker's been found dead. Well, you're the one who went and did a dumb, so. Well, this is interesting. Like, the bleeding go up and down. Seems like you need a shower fast. Gonna die of blood loss pretty soon. Rest in peace. They won't use it when the enemy comes close, but they can carry 2 weapons. Basically, you don't want your crossbow dwarves to be in a position where they have to use a weapon. But yes, they do whack people with the crossbow instead. Kib, you can run this squad now. Let's throw you in. I need to repopulate this squad. Thorax, you can join the squad because you would have made a good one a while ago. Same with you. Speaking of, how are you doing? How is Jasper doing? Is vision lost? Jasper, I need to lock you in a room with some healing potions. Give them a reason to stay in the hospital. Is usually the way to go about doing that. But they need a reason to stay in the hospital. Seems like somebody else just died. Ah, Ast the Clother has been missing for a week. Healing potions, yes. Healing potions have been in since Adventure Mode launched. Creed, hello. It's good to see you. Adventure Mode added in, every single world has several different healing edible stuff, which completely heal all wounds, including regrowing limbs. They're mostly an Adventure Mode feature, but can be accessed through Fortress Mode via some shenanigans. Either via carrying stuff around with adventurers, or by settling somewhere you're not supposed to, which is what I did in this case. So this dwarf is now settled where they're not supposed to be. Also alongside of this dwarf for some reason. Well, you've also got a random scar, so we'll heal your scar. But the Curious Jam and the Curious Jam, these two. So when one of these gets hungry, they can go consume the Curious Jam or the Peculiar Juice. And consuming it will heal them. Dusty has finally joined us and began haunting us. I'll be honest, I'm kind of shocked how many people don't read patch notes, I guess. If you watched my YouTube videos, you would know. I'll put it that way. Finally stopping by to say hi. Well, hello, Harm the Wanderer. Why do we need to harm the Wanderer? Were you previously in a squad? Oh, you are in a squad. You're a member of this squad. Ah, I see. So you are the Wanderer. I understand. And the Wanderer, I guess, in this instance, causes harm. Well, the more you know. Let's allow them to go pray. I mean, they both want to pray to Burr, so go pray to Burr. Nope. No, I mean, everything in adventure mode is accessible within reason in Fortress mode. The only reason you don't often get everything in Adventure mode is because it requires some finagling to access, usually. And a lot of people don't go through the finagling process to do that. Why did you pull it twice? The animation looked like you pulled it twice. Interesting. All right, while we're waiting for other things, I'm going to queue up these. Uh-oh, found something dead. Well, found the dead dwarf who was haunting us, so that's good. Let's get Dusty buried. It's a lot of random rotten crap. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Because I haven't been living peacefully. Hey, chat, have I been living peacefully? Y'all seen how many Forgotten Beasts we've had? I mean, I did disable a threat that's been added since you last played, Fakio. But literally, before I even hit 20 dwarves, we got fucking murked by a Forgotten Beast that had deadly dust that made everybody just spontaneously bleed to death. And I lost like half my dwarves. And we had to hide on the surface and then kite it out to the surface to go fight some zombies that happened to show up around the same time, instead of like, you know, actually defeating it. So, I don't know what you mean by peaceful. Okay, so you're thirsty. Am I missing something that is thirst quenching? I think this is thirst quenching. Maybe not. Oh, I should probably unforbid the container. No? Well, I mean, okay. Oh yeah, also the fact that we are within spitting distance of 5 Necromancer towers, and 3 of them are actively trying to murder me. I wouldn't say I'm playing peacefully. I mean, I'm not invading anything, but I don't think this is a particularly peaceful fort in any real way, shape, or form. Also, this squad should start training. Oh, there we go. Zahn here is now healed after consuming some mysterious jam, so no more health problems. That's the last of the mysterious jam. How about you here? You should get hungry soon. You've gotten thirsty. I love how their feeling is annoyed with the lack of chairs. Yeah, we didn't get any migrants for the first 2 years because we just got murked by repeated sieges. Yeah, that hung around for forever. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how you define the word. Oh, there's another one. Safely, I guess. So you're taking a nap. I need this dwarf to get hungry. At least you're incompetently performing the rites of the Doctrine of Bronze. But also, if you haven't played in 8 years or so, Dwarf Fortress is great these days. Frame rates are so much better, it's ridiculous. Literally just sitting here until this dwarf gets thirsty. And then I'll let them both out. Or hungry, rather. Come on, dwarf. Chat, we even have a meal emote now. Somebody post that meal emote. We actually have 2 new emotes. We also have Crypt Rat. As we sit here and wait. Oh. Cook was found dead. Succumbed to their injuries. Rest in peace, dwarf. Come on, dwarf. All right, Jasper, I'm just going to station you there. Lock this door. Unlock this door. Let that dwarf go do what they gotta do. Or don't. We're in an ad break real quick. Shy Pandemonium, it looks like your sub ran out. Blind has big mugs. And they're cheaper now, too. Not only that, but they're on sale. Great. Mugs on my merch store are 10% off if you're a Twitch sub. What are they not drinking? I don't want them to drink. I want them to eat. I'm waiting for that dwarf to get hungry. Not thirsty. Because I need them to eat what's in that pot. Because what's in that pot is a meal that will give you, you know, full healing. I need them to eat the magic potions. Which don't freeze, and it makes me sad because I want to beat somebody to death in adventure mode with a frozen magic potion. For reasons. You could, but trust me, you do not want that. Because you would never be able to, like you could make the game recenter to the dwarf, you can have a full screen pop-up, or you could pause the game. The game would be unplayable if you got a notification whenever a dwarf got thirsty. Or you could just have one pop up there and there would always be 30 of them. You can't do one for a specific dwarf, though. I don't want them to be thirsty, I want them to eat. Because this is food, not drink. I mean... Actually, here's what I'm going to do. Go down here and pull this lever. Then go here and pull that lever. And then Jasper, it's time for you to go be a hero. Jasper's going to go into here. Oh. What? I thought you were insane. Well then. I was like, you'll win this fight, no problem. Oh. I see why. It's because their weapon is armor destroying. Well, in that case, we must have vengeance. That we must. I just killed that dwarf for absolutely zero reason. Also, apparently this is an unreachable location. Not sure why. I have to figure out why. Oh, that's why. Let's forbid this. Forbid this. Is fixed. Well, welcome back, dude. Also, I can open this. It's not an unreachable location. You wingdings. Perfectly reachable. Oh, maybe actually it is unreachable because of that door. They're just chasing this wild boar up here. It's funny. Timing on your subscription was crazy. It certainly seemed that way, yeah. It ran out at exactly the wrong time. I need a few more of them to arrive. Come on, dwarves. Final boss begins. Oh, did I not tell him to kill it? I didn't tell him to kill it. Confirm, confirm. There we go. So we got Edtor, we got Thob. They're running towards the creature. It can't destroy armor. What if it destroys your upper torso? Yeah, look at that. Instant heavy bleeding. Instant heavy bleeding. That is brutal, man. This time it is bleeding, though. They managed to get some hits in. It immediately stops bleeding because it drank its potion, right? Yeah, it super duper did. So it healed once. But now they've got it locked up. Another dwarf falls, I think. But it's now faint and pain and nauseous. Nope, not another dwarf fell. That was the first one. They're now running up top and putting down the goblin, who holds the throne. And just like that, I've claimed my last victim in here. And you What? Where'd the primordial cloud stuff spear go? Oh, there it is. I mean, the elemental spear. It's going to be equipped by you. There it is. And you're taking a nap, because of course you are. What a goddamn shame, man. You know, I'm going to bury my dwarf here up top. Should have watched longer. You just presumed. No, I'm pretty good at this. I hate to brag, but I am pretty good at this game. So a lot of the time, there will be people who's just like, how are you surviving in this instance? And I'll be like, well, it's like not a big deal. It's like not a big deal, you know? I will leave this dwarf forbidden because this is going to be their tomb. Tulon the surgeon has died. Remember earlier I was talking about how I don't generally have problems with people dying in trees? This one died in a tree, but not because I got stuck in it. They just died in a tree for some reason. But right now, Fakio, since you played 8 years ago, you might remember like there would sometimes be fish people or various other like intelligent animal people that live in the caverns. Those dudes attack you in waves now that are basically unbeatable. Unless you like nerf them yourself in the difficulty options. So I've just made the habit of nerfing them. So they're much weaker than they should be and don't attack at all in this particular fort. But if you don't like adjust those options, you will just get attacked by infinite waves of cavern creatures. So like the caverns are more dangerous than they used to be if you play the game on default settings. But 2 seconds. The sun is shining directly into the office now, and it's kind of warm in here, so opening up the other window, the door, so that the fresh air can come in. Most of the time I like that it gets warm in here, but then sometimes it gets a little too warm in here. All right, well, you right there are going to be Jasper's tomb. Man, she was happy when she died, too. That's wild. She's too proud to take a potion. First thing was when you saw that I weaponized minecarts? Yeah. And he must have mods? No. Mods are a personal choice. Which sounds way more serious than it needs to. Mods basically just change the basic flavor of the game. So if you feel the game needs some flavor for one reason or another, then yeah, add mods. Otherwise, I personally don't feel that the game needs any mods. So I'm kind of a bad person to ask, I guess. Okay, so you're burying Catan. Who's that even? Oh, it's Headtour. Jeez. What FPS do I play at? Well, it's at the bottom of the screen. I usually set it to 70. I used to always play at 100, but chat started saying that 100 was too fast. So I push it down to 70. But this fort's running a little slow because of how big it is. Because this is a 7x7 map. This is DF hack, but so I am using DF hack, but I would say that DF hack isn't needed unless you're kind of a power player is the way I would describe it. Put that away. You wingding. Put in tomb. This is tomb. This is tomb. Assigned to that dwarf. Tomb. Bury in tomb. Or don't, I guess. Grumble. I can now make use of these slayed mechanisms for something. Oh, is it directly behind my camera? Oh. Yeah, you're right. I never really clocked that. But yes, I play at 70. Sorry, my bad. I place a thing in its place and then forget about where it's placed. Yeah, I generally play at 70. Currently, it's running around 60 with a graphical FPS of 40. So the UI is responsive enough and game plays just fine. Why is there teeth in here? Oh my god, this is like mostly full. That's insane. Well, okay then. I put myself right on it. Yep, I'm right on top of the frame rate. So no one will ever know what my frame rate is. It was my secret plan all along. You finally discovered my scheme. I can claim my frames are great because no one will ever know. Is Sparrow people? Well, you can solve that problem very easily by simply turning them off. That's the way I solve that problem usually. Should just name them all Jack, and at the very least, they'll be funny. I really also need to get some lava up in here so that I'm not using this fucking drawbridge setup. How big is my military? Not big at all. I don't really have enough population for a large military. Also, they keep dying. Is the other half. I had 2.5 squads. One Mark's Dwarf squad, one melee squad, and then half of another squad. But then about a third of them died, and then another third of them died. It's been kind of a constant. Why would I do that? As long as the dwarf is buried, it doesn't matter. I'll be honest with you. I always want to do cool things with tombs and then never do. Because I always want to do cool things with tombs and then get bored of doing cool things with tombs and then stop doing things with tombs. So if you're asking me, am I going to put a tombstone at the top of everyone? I mean, that'd be cool looking. Will I? I'm just being honest here. I don't know about you, but there's a few things in Dwarf Fortress that I'm like, that would be really cool if I did it. Shame I won't ever do it. And that is certainly one of those things. No, fuck you. A lot of the time when creatures show up, I lock the door and then wait for the zombies to siege me for the quintillionth time and then run to the surface and murder them. Also, I'm like, what version number did you play in? Out of curiosity. Trying to figure out where your experience is coming from. Like, how to explain how things have changed, I guess. Because the game's changed pretty considerably in 8 years. so that they can have separate tombs, but they don't need additional things. I might give them statues, but I'm not going to bother giving them individual engraved tombstones. Like, I don't see any reason to do that. Just throwing out numbers. Okay, so like, you last played back when tantrum spirals were still a thing. Someone in chat's gonna be like, they're still a thing. No, they're not. No, they're fucking not. And like loyalty cascades were common going concerns and stuff like that. Are they not anymore? Not in the last 4 years. Also, 8 years ago was what? 2016? So you're probably playing version 44. Yeah, you were probably playing version 44. Unless you didn't update your game. Okay, then you haven't played in longer than 8 years then. Because if trees were 1 tile thick, then yeah, you were playing in the 30s then. Because they would grow up, but they wouldn't grow out. And they just look like a single eye before they changed them to zeros. That era of trees, yeah, then you were playing more like 12, 13 years ago, unless you never updated your game for some reason. Well, no, I mean, like, that stopped being a thing in 2014, which was 10 years ago, so... So, I hate to break it to you, but time passes. So, at least 10 to 12 years ago was when you last played. One is one that you've made, one is one you haven't made. Items you haven't made can't be given away as a gift. Or an ammo. I mean, 2 years in... I was going to say in dog years, but that's not how dog years works. But simply put, Forgotten Beasts and Cavern Monsters have had various different balances over the years. I wouldn't say that my gameplay is comparable to most people's because I've got tens of thousands of hours in this game. Even when I'm fucking around and being silly and just letting dumb shit happen like I usually do, it's generally not the best idea to compare my gameplay to what the average user experience would be because I play this game too much. Fortunately, sometimes chat lets me play other games, right, chat? Inverse dog years. Sure. Okay, it's like 2 years in Etten years. Or sorry, Ent years maybe. Or elf years? Yeah, it's 2 years in elf years. We'll go with that. Because, you know, they're immortal and all that. I don't think they're, like, outside of... Okay, so, like, there's Deep Space Cursed Metal. There's Deep Space. He streams consistently and is quite experienced. He plays even more differently than I do. Like, I play pretty fast and loose with Fortress Safety, as can be spotted by the moods. But, like, I have 30 dwarves that are a little pissy. Like, Deep Space would have 70 right now. Oh, goddamn. Well, there goes the traders. My cool wild animals just murdered the traders, I think. Yep. I need to get rid of the garbage. Not scare them away, you dumb grizzly. I know you're friendly to me, but you're not friendly to the trade. Well, at least we get a bunch of free cloth. Crap. But, like, it's... Aside from Deep Space, like, there really isn't a ton of what I would describe as experienced streamers. Like, there's a couple people that have like 1 to 2 concurrent who are pretty experienced at stream, but like Von Galactic is getting there, but he's still pretty new in the grand scheme of things. Like, I remember when Von Galactic was just learning. Demon Stir here also streams pretty consistently. Is working on an artifact. But yeah, a lot of people, like, I don't know. Dwarf Fortress and who streams Dwarf Fortress is a subject that makes me sad. Because it's like, I've had so many borderline arguments with other streamers where it's just like, people say that Dwarf Fortress is a bad game to watch. It's like, well, then I wouldn't exist. If it wasn't a fun game, and they're like, you're the anomaly. It's like, I don't think that anomalies would exist, like, in that format. Like that, if they weren't a going concern, but I digress. I need to make sure these cages are empty. Forts haven't been dying to FPS death since like 2016. Some people don't believe me, but to me, the definition of FPS death is kind of the old school definition, which is the game is unplayable due to frame rate being so low and it's uncurable and unfixable. Proper death. But generally what ends up happening isn't that it becomes unplayable. What ends up happening is that frame rate will drop at points, but it's almost always fixable. And if you have any idea of what you're doing, it's always fixable. Not only that, but like I had to go back to version 47 because I recorded a bunch of footage for No Clip Video, who are working on a documentary about Dwarf Fortress. And on this computer, version 47.05, which was the last pre-Steam version, with about 150 dwarves, runs at like 20 FPS. I have 95 on a much bigger map, and I'm pretty steady at 60. The child has created Olmes Tular, a chert ring, and claims it as a personal treasure. Alrighty, bud. So, like, I don't know. Dwarf Fortress runs better now than it's literally ever run before. And so the result is people are like, well, I'm going to have a fortress of 400 dwarves. I'm like, that literally... And then they're like, frame rate's bad. How many dwarves do you have? 450. Well, you wonder why the frame rate's bad. God damn, man. Oh, yeah, also the map's 16 by 60. Well, duh. Of course your frame is bad. It's disabled by default. You have to change your settings to make the maps that big. Is there a clip of the railgun firing? I could just fire it. Uh-oh. Well, it works. You're welcome. Oh, no. Sorry, Strix. Your baby will remember this. Wowie. Awkward. I think you mean red shirt, but... no, this was a child that got smacked by one of the other minecarts and then propelled into oblivion. That is an unconscious baby who can't sit or stand. Well, that's unfortunate. Remember how I said some people might die? All about that. That's, misfire! There we go. Maybe once it can stand, then it can help clean and do other things that kids do. That's okay. It's just a mare. We'll get another one. Do I follow a design? Fuck no. Not really. No, we set up... I have a command ! Goal if you want to know what I'm trying to achieve with the fort. I don't follow any fort designs, if that's what you're asking. I don't really know what you mean by design. Do I use player-made goals? I mean, usually I figure out what I'm going to try and do with each fort as I start. And then sometimes I follow it. Sometimes I don't. But do me a huge favor, Fekio. Stop using that smiley face. It is maybe the most irritating emote on Twitch. Just use literally any other smiley face. The Forgotten Beast, 2 toast has come. An enormous eyeless spider. That sucks. It has 2 short horns and it undulates rhythmically. It's pale brown exoskeleton and is warty. Beware its poison bite, meaning it probably has webs, right? It's also on the lower level. Why would I want to lava moat? That's a terrible idea. Building a huge lava moat is a horrible idea. Why would I ever want to do that? Gotta wait for the ads to be done. FPS doesn't have issues with lava. Lava doesn't cause FPS issues. No, it's your own dwarves falling into them is the problem. Same with normal moats. I mean, water moats are more dangerous to your dwarves than the enemy in almost all instances. So, no, I mean, there is no issue with that. You are correct, Dog D, yeah, or Eric D, yes. We do, in fact, have several more dwarves. Remember, you've played a version of the game from over 10 years ago on significantly older hardware, and the game doesn't run on SDL1 anymore. The graphics don't run on your CPU anymore. The game is multi-threaded. Just remember, we're talking about a different game. Like, we might as well not be talking about the same game anymore. I mean, if you played in 34, you only had 64 Z levels. So... yeah, actually, here, I could just do this. Hold on. Let me just open up my web browser here. And go to YouTube. And go to my YouTube channel. Then go to my VOD channel. Up to 400 Z levels per fort. If I scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Yeah, sure, this is a good one. Shut up, me. And also, I mean, you can't see it, but this fort is sitting at 70 frames a second. What do I have a lot? Shut up, me. When did I tell you that I could talk? Trying to just get a shot of the lava. This wasn't even when the shenanigans were at peak. Oh, sure. Here's a good shot. Quit autoing. There you go. So this has what, like 91 dwarves, which tiny population. The population did go up to about 200 at one point. But I had this volcano that was constantly erupting. So we are talking about a different game, basically. Oh yeah, no, like you'll have no issue doing that now, that's for sure. Energy is correct. XD. Speaking of XD, I do need to get those dwarves buried, so let's finish that. Some migrants have arrived. Hallelujah! I definitely need those. Can they even get into the fort right now? I guess they can. Still kind of hoping that I will get some more dwarves from my previous fort that actually have military history. Instead, I just keep getting dwarves that have military history that weren't from my previous fort. Well, you got bad memories. Maybe you did come from my last fort. Humorless, perfectionist, disdains stoicism, values self-control. Sweet, join the military. How about you? Oh, you're a competent spear dwarf. Again. No military history in my forts. Basically, everybody in this world has some sort of military history or training, which is interesting. Values tradition, quick to give up, overbearing. Ah. Good luck, dwarf. You're an axe dwarf. Dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. 6% herself bold, even if she would. She has a sense of duty. You'll do okay in the military, I think. I'll put you into the Mark's Dwarf squad. I should get them training again, actually. Presuming they don't actively have a method of getting more zombies, anything can run out of anything if you destroy its population. Anything can run out of anything. You're what? Patient, strong, values eloquence, not creative. Yeah, you'll do okay. What was your name again? Eurus the Tanner? Eurus the Tanner, you can actually run this squad. The fact that you're the only Eurus in this map is kind of shocking to me. God damn it, you brought a cat. How dare you? No! Bad! No KV. Please end its life. Stat. Plus these ones I caught. Unfortunately for them. A Clockwork Dragon. What kind of dwarf do you want? Oh, shit. Expert Hammer Dwarf. Again, not from my previous fort. That's wild. This is the most random combat experience I've ever seen in a faction, I think. At least since, like, just getting an expert Hammer Dwarf. Like, what? Can you has any craft dwarf? Sure, after I'm done sorting the new populace. The new populace. Populations. Dower is a real conflicted by this. Doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. Do you want a beard or no beard? Clockwork. You were literally opening that? I was staring at it because it's been up for 15 minutes. What's bad about KV boars? Well, I don't actually have anything against cats. Cats are fine. I have to geld them quickly. KVs, I don't like them because there's no reason for them to exist. They don't produce anything of value. They are grazers, so they have to be kept in a pasture, which I find annoying and tedious already. So if they gave meat or leather, I would be okay with them, but they don't give meat or leather. They literally just give you a skull. That is it. Same with bunnies. Bunnies do the same thing. So they're completely pointless to keep as a livestock, unless you have a massive totem industry, which I don't. And never do and never will. Since last win was about noon. Oh, gotcha. When the time rolled over. Fair enough. For craft dwarves, do you have any preference? I mean, I got this one available, 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 or this one available. Take your pick. No, I did not slaughter a pet cat. You cannot slaughter a named animal. Unless their owner is dead, which is kind of funky. I did not slaughter cats. I slaughtered 4 or I queued up training orders for 3 different KVs so that I can slaughter them once they're trained. Because I can't slaughter them until they're trained, and they're in my cage traps, and they keep clogging up my cage traps like a bunch of useless critters that they are. You want blocks that rock? Is that what you're saying? Rith? Clockwork Dragon. Ring Church. Oh, that's good. That's a good name. Can be very single-minded and has great trouble mastering fear when confronted by danger. Pardon me for a second. I'm just going to jump up to here. Go over here. The mayor's dead, so... Arende is now mayor. Oh, well, that's good. I like how the spouse and religious leader of the fortress, Fierce Funeral, becomes the mayor. Like, this is now the mayor. Like... Oh no, he had to endure the decay of his mother. Oh, that's grim. But she did get buried at the very least. All right. I'll be excited for them when I know what they are. I don't generally get excited for things when we don't know when it's releasing and we don't know how far along it is and we don't know the details. I'll be excited when we get the first round of patch notes. I've learned over my very long, devastatingly grim career in this industry that you shouldn't get excited for things because that's how you get disappointed most of the time. Like, I'll speculate sometimes with you guys for fun, but to be completely honest, I'm very curious. But I'm not going to say that I'm excited because it's somewhere between, like, I'm curious and to see what they come up with, and, well, if I don't like them, I'll just nerf them or turn them off. Anyway, you can be very single-minded, and she has great trouble mastering fear when confronted by danger. She finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding. She generally is unhindered by the thoughts of others concerning her actions, is inattentive to detail in her own work, and she prefers to present herself modestly. She has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. And she is quite ambitious and slow to trust others. She is quite polite and is quick to form negative views about things. She doesn't give in to grievances, and she has a greedy streak, and she is somewhat uncomfortable around those that live differently from herself. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. She dreams of raising a family and personally holds shrewd and crafty individuals in the lowest esteem. And strongly believes that peaceful and ordered societies without deceit is best, and sees the denial of impulses as vain and foolish, as a vain and foolish pursuit. She values peace over war and finds blind honesty foolish. She likes siltstone and zinc, as well as white jade and the color sepia, quivers and amulets and generous wisps, and the sound of the tulip of sparkling, and the sight of the dying baby in the corner, and the sight of the silkiness of vestivalism. When possible, prefers to consume single grain wheat beer and giant kangaroo's milk. Meanwhile, the forgotten beast Thucket has come. A towering humanoid composed of salt. Nice. It has a pair of squat antennae and a bloated body. Hallelujah, it doesn't do anything monstrous. The fuck is it? It is down here. Ring Dagger. What a good name. Is the front gate still shut? Front gate is in fact still shut. Oh, that's why we haven't rescued the baby yet. Well, I should make that one tile available. Maybe they already grabbed it? Yeah, I guess they grabbed it. Oh, are you rescuing it? Or is it... No, it just healed enough to be able to leave. Well, that's not good. I mean, I guess that's good. Rather. All right, so let's just go here and add everybody to the burrow. Get them out of the down underside area. And let's shoot this salt monster with some cannons, shall we? How you doing, Stratature? Hopefully things are good. Chat, can I get a really big round of beers for good luck? We all know and need this to be as dramatic a blast as possible. Where the heck are you going? Oh, well, never mind. You just found my siege operator in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Get him, buddy! Oh. Get him, buddy! The random expert hammer dwarf was running around collecting stuff for his new career in the military and as part of this fortress, and murdered a forgotten beast before he even got really started. Good on you, I guess, Mr. Bronze Warhammer, sir. Should probably make silver Warhammers. Pots can store some asterisk items. Just not all items. How about you in my new abode and all? I'm good. You know, trucking through the days. One day at a time. I think I'm going to make... gold bookcases. Let's make 12. Then in the middle here, I should be able to just do this. So what, Billin? Just get these colors matching here. There you go. And then the center of this is going to be a dining hall. Oops, can't do that. Dining hall. And the outer of this is going to be library. And they're going to be connected. And I will put a food stockpile in here. And to inverse dog years ago. I mean, the hotkeys are all completely different. The game isn't playable with only a keyboard. So if that's going to cause you issues, then maybe. Otherwise, for me, going from version 47 to this version was just kind of like a, okay, where the fuck did they put that menu? Okay, wait, now where the fuck did they put that menu? All right, but like now, hold on. Where did they put this menu? It was a lot of that for about 6 hours, and then it was fine after that. Got some flights coming up? What do you mean? Like, do you pay for flight Wi-Fi or something? But regardless, the Gloved Vault. I really like that name for a library. That's a good library name. Any balance changes I'm unhappy with? Well, I was talking about the one that I'm unhappy with earlier, which is disable the other stuff. I need to remind you, you and me are playing a different game. Version 47, balance-wise, as in like stress and management difficulty-wise, is pretty similar to this version. So the game hasn't changed much since 2018. The game has changed a metric fuck ton since version 34. So for me, are there any balance changes I don't like? I don't like the changes they made to digging too deeply and greedily, because it's just kind of tedious. There's some bugs with becoming a mountain home right now, which I want them to fix real bad. But you need to remember, we're talking about a different game here. But really, it's just the cavern invaders I don't like, but those you can just turn off, so it's a non-issue. Because like all of the settings are just in game now, so like you just go to difficulty and go to custom and just tweak what you want in game, which is nice. Mountain home bugs. So when you become the mountain home, when you become the capital before the mountain home, and you get your noble, your king or your queen, every single noble in your faction comes and visits, which is totally fine. I actually really like that mechanic. I think it's cool. It's been in the game for a while. However, the bug with it is if they die for some reason, your fault or not, another one immediately appears with the same rank that immediately replaces them. Which means you can get stuck in these infinite loops of people dying that you have no control over, that don't join your fortress, that can't join your fortress unless you use DF hack to force them to join your fortress. They do not obey any laws or orders. They don't follow burrows. And I know some people will be like, but dwarves don't follow burrows. Yeah, these guys literally don't have the option to, let alone just legal misbehaving, which is what a lot of dwarves do, where they just go like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go finish my craft anyway. And you go, but you're gonna die, you moron. And then they're like, yeah, I don't care, la-di-da, and then they go die. These guys will just go die. Also, then they become ghosts. And it's like, I have no interest in becoming a mountain home again until they fix that. Because I like to make maniacal death traps, and I don't like my maniacal death traps being clogged up by my own ally corpses. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it doesn't really cause any negatives to your fort, aside from that you have to clean their bodies up and also bury them in tombs or make memorials for them. But when 45 die in the span of about 2 minutes because an enemy siege is parked somewhere and they just keep appearing, it's not fun, and there's no way to disable it because they're not considered visitors. So disabling visitors doesn't fix it, but ideally they just fix it. That's the one thing that I would say that I'm annoyed by with current versions of the game. Really? I mean, a lot of the common complaints I don't understand. People constantly complain that Mark's dwarves don't work still. I have zero experience with them not working. They work just fine as far as I can tell. So that one's perplexing, and I see people complaining about it a lot, but I don't know, it hasn't been an issue for me. They work just fine as far as I'm concerned. So I don't quite get what people are talking about with that one. They just nerfed meals finally, so that's good. I don't know. There really isn't too much. And then the queen demanded short swords, and then I got assaulted by a legend sword dwarf throwing a tantrum, and 23 injured and lived, and then later randomly bled to death. I don't know. They probably bled to death because they got stabbed, not randomly. How do you prevent your fortress from becoming a barony? When they ask you to be elevated in society, you just say, no, I'd rather keep my distance from the homeland. Which, before somebody comments, yeah, I'm aware that makes it so that you can't make specific requests of caravans anymore, but you know what? The world's not going to end if you can't. Table, rock, throne. Or at least my world won't end. Maybe yours will. And if yours will, well, then you should, keep doing that. But I personally, I just hope that it gets fixed. I mean, I asked Tarn the other week to fix it. So, and he said that it shouldn't be too difficult. And now that adventure mode's out in the main branch again, Oh, speaking of adventure mode, to a person who hasn't played in a decade, the senior citizen in the chat, old man. No, anyway. Boogeymen are no longer a concern unless you're in specific haunted biomes. There are now magical dice which can either give you magical items and or curse you if you roll them too many times. They tend to hang out in temples. There are now generated quest lines. There are magic healing potions that can regrow limbs. Or can you find my iron on any map now? Why the fuck would you want to find iron on any map? No, I mean, the world gen code really hasn't changed much at all. But it does tell you what material is on the map before you embark, which was an old DF hack feature, which I hate, but I've learned to stop bitching about it. Instead, I just don't pay much attention and forget. No, when you're settling now and you hover your mouse over a location, or your selector over a location is what I should say, to go pick what area you would like to embark into, it tells you what the what metals are available instead of just saying deep metals / shallow metals or whatever. Which I wish they never did that, but they did, so such is life. Kivish, you seem like you'd be good in the military just by looking at you. You can also just change the population threshold in the difficulty settings, Ilmirin. Or actually, whoever answered that. Yeah, it was Ilmirin. If you don't export much wealth, they also don't ask you. I caught an eagle and a black mamba. Oh my god, I finally found another animal I'm going to train. Whoops, wrong screen. Holy shit. I'm gonna keep you. You're gonna be my pet. The rest of you I'm gonna eat, though. I'll keep you two alive. We're eagles that drop snakes onto the enemies. Calm down, Red Alert. Oh, also you can build on floors. I'm just randomly thinking of things that have changed. You can build on floors, so you don't have to deconstruct your you don't need to deconstruct like your floor tiles to build a wall on them. Maybe my favorite change going into premium is the fact that you don't need to deconstruct floor tiles. Also, let's just open this gate for right now. Also, is this enabled right now? Yes, it is. Let's turn that off. It's kind of hard to see this. Thunk. And thunk. And thunk. Also get rid of that because I don't need it. Should be fine. I have no idea who nor what are you talking about? Person in chat who's speaking for the first time? Nobody got banned for that. So you're either lost, confused, or trolling, or all of the above. No, you're lost, confused, or trolling. Or you're just simply in the wrong place. Is there another material alternative to bins like there is to barrels? Not really, no. Forgotten Beast. I read that as Rob Kakul. Med Equic. It's not Rob, it's Reb. Has come, a humanoid composed of flame. Nice. We got the hot stuff up in here. It has long curving horns and it appears to be emaciated. Beware its webs. Well, that's fucking scary in like every way. My God. Okay, fine. I'm sorry I unlocked the door. I'll lock it again. My bad. Lost, confused, and trolling. It's like a goblin plotline. Hey! Spooky. At least it'll burn the evidence. I kind of want to lock this one on the surface. I don't actually have a way to do that right now. Oh, yay, it's killing the KV. Hallelujah. Good riddance. Rock pots are a different wooden barrel. They're not a better wooden barrel. I mean, you can make different, like there's jugs, pots, and barrels, right? There's no alternative to bins, but you can make metal bins. Is that a Belrog? I mean, I don't recall the Belrog shooting webs, but yeah, I guess it is kind of a Belrog. I've been watching your vids for a while. Thanks for the tutorials. Hoping to glean a bit more from the game while watching. Well, cheers, mate. Beast looks rather unkind. He's kind of hot, to be honest. Or it's kind of hot. I mean, it does have, well, it has 3 horns. Okay, so it's an although one of them appears to be coming out of its face. So it's like a Belrog if it had a horn coming out of its shoulder. And wait, it's in front of its mouth for some reason. So he's got like 1 coming out of his nose and 2 in his ears, I guess. Mushroom trees don't burn down. So fun fact, trees don't burn down. Their leaves burn. As you can see up here, their leaves and branches are burning. These ones don't burn, but these guys do. But trees don't burn down. Their branches do. Yes, you'd be running at a frame a second with this going on, probably, in version 34. That, or it would be running better. It's one of the two. Because there's less to process in total. Although this may actually cause the frame to hitch a bit. If something gets stuck, but not for long. Morning, Mercury. I hope they closed the gate in time. Be very unfortunate if they didn't. You know, I kind of want to try and shoot this thing with my minecarts, but it may actually be smarter to just do it this way. Just try and snipe it from a distance. Man, that's terrifying. It's shooting flaming webs. Like, genuinely, that is terrifying. I'm kind of tempted to just open the door. Let's just get these fortified. Get you down here. And everybody should be in the upper burrow. Although I do need to add this to the burrow briefly. Get your bolts down here, dwarves. Let's make sure you have ammo. Most of them do. Actually, I need to make more quivers. Because I did sell a bunch. Can your dwarves handle them? Probably. It's going to be sketchy, but probably. I'm gonna say probably. Where's Mr. Hot Stuff? There you are. No, well, they're not randomly in the hallway. They were being constructed in the hallway. Because my favorite way to get rid of boulders I don't need is to just put, like, masonry. Oh, by the way, masonry doesn't exist anymore. It's stoneworking now. I put stoneworker shops in the middle of hallways. And it's a pretty effective method of just getting rid of stones in a specific location. So that's why there's random furniture in the hallway. Buddy, it's south. It's like right there. That's the door to my fort. Where are you going? Oh, you can't see through your own smoke line. Got it. The subordinate of baiting is also a really good last name. Do you have any kills? Oh, lucky you do! No, I have them make a bunch of bricks in the area where they are, and then use those bricks to build floors in the area. It has webs, yeah. So you can't really see them because its webs tend to burn alongside of it shooting out flame. So it shoots out flames and stuff burns at the same time. Also, in regards to trees, these are trees burning. And that's why they're caving in. So this will cave in when this support gets burnt right here. And for reference, the game's still playing at a solid 50-something frames. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you're all the way down there. That's fine. You're allowed to live down there. Just don't come up here, please. Why haven't you entered my fortress yet, you goofball? And before it walks underneath a caving-in tree and explodes. Aw, man. Napalm? Sure, actually. That's not that far off of a description. Dude, you can go south and kill me. There's no way into my fort if you go north. There might be a honey badger, though. I cannot confirm or deny. Also, fun fact about fire. If your military is fighting with a creature that shoots fire, and they keep catching fire, if your military also happens to have flasks, whatever liquid is in their flask will evaporate when they catch fire, and it will extinguish the flame. Just thought I'd tell you. No, I'm blind, and you're Faccio, and this creature is Reb. Yeah, it's like a single-use fire extinguish. Or just get them to fight in shallow water, which also basically negates them completely. The problem with, I beg your fucking pardon? Oh! Right. I forgot about the zombies. So there's zombies in cages here, right? Anyway, this guy's just going around burning the cages and releasing all the zombies. I didn't even think about that. And some of them are just leaving, like this one. You're wise. I would too. Liquor also evaporates and makes the fire go out. Don't worry about it, okay? Just don't worry about it. Please tell me you got it. Forgotten Beast kicks the human corpse in the left leg, but it glances away. The human bowman corpse punches the Forgotten Beast in the upper body with her right hand, breaking away the tissue. No, it was an unarmed zombie that got it. It was this lady, Ripper Bleaches. She's called. Oh my god, that's funny. That is so fucking funny. Oh, jeez. This guy feels real ripped off. He's like, man, she's like, man, I almost got out of this joint. God damn it. Man, that is funny. That is too funny. That is too funny. Well, the question is, are they heading towards my fort? They probably are. Yeah, they are. Look at them. Get them, spooks. Or don't. Or are they just going to leave? That'd be even funnier if they just leave. Uh-oh. Remember earlier I was saying the frame rate might hitch? Well, it's hitching. Let's pause game. It's probably the zombies that are wrecking it too. I almost guarantee you it's this. Probably not, actually. Oh, no, it's probably this guy. They're gonna die anyway. Haha! Wait, was that right? Well, okay, frame rate's at... Yeah, it's coming back now. Okay, so they are grouping up over here. Some of them are turning around. He's trying to pass through the smoke, and he was the one on fire, which was the problem. Where are these zombies going? Reason 2 injured. All right, fine. Just I don't need you canceling my shit. The reason we're getting undead on this map is because of our close proximity to necromancer towers, which are automatically at war with you, similar to goblins. Except necromancer towers don't care about how big your fort is. They just kill you. So I'm just gonna send my squads up here. Although the Marks dwarves are gonna get here quicker. Not much quicker, though. Rest of the militia's right behind them. So I would like to release my squads. You know, I don't normally do this, chat. I might make a mist generator. I might make a mist generator. Really? Really? Really now? How did I discover this? What fell down here that I discovered this? Also, all of the cavern layers are connected? Well, that's somewhat disturbing. The better question is, how is it on fire down here? Oh. Wait. No? Oh, did bits of it fall down? That's certainly possible that bits of the Forgotten Beast fell down here. Well, that's a human leg, so... Well, something burning fell off the edge. Probably a collapsing tree then. Well, that's brutal. It's either that or like a tree fell over and caused like a burning bit to fly off. Just remember, Dwarf Fortress is an immersive sim. It's brand new militia captain Urist's first time in a fight. Oh, and somebody died. Excellent. Who was it? It was Thob. Well, rip Thob. Curious, did you make it to the fight? No, you didn't. I want to read this dwarf's combat log because they're using a elemental stone spear, which should have some powers tied to it, so curious to see that in action. Got a lot of messy bedrooms down here and gotta fix this. A lot of messy bedrooms. Dwarf bedrooms are too cute. Oh, thank you. They do look like a messy teenager, but... Alright, well, let's just unpause the game and see what hell breaks loose. I mean, stuff's still collapsing, so what could possibly go wrong? Let's open up my very gaudy bridge. Well, I mean, 2 of the cavern layers are hot right now. Also, that was my axe dwarf that was found dead. I'm presuming you have a coffin that you'll get assigned to. Yeah, I'm going to make a... I'm going to make a... what do you call it? I'm apparently blanking on how words work. Chat, my apologies. I'm going to make me a mist generator. I try not to build these usually, but this fortress is getting a little silly, so... Desperate times equal... Well... I mean, not desperate times. Times in which you do not care for the well-being of your citizens call for desperate measures. Yes. What if I go... That's gonna look fugly, though. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I'll just fill in the wall with something else. Complain about it later. Yes. Fuck you. They're one of those things that, an iron wall. All right. They're one of those things that I would say operates almost identically to the way it used to. Or one of the few things that does. Although something that doesn't quite operate the way they used to are infinite power generators. Those sometimes operate the way they used to, and sometimes super duper 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 don't. Grab a pickaxe, peasant. I need more miners. Oh no, a dwarven child's been found dead. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know why. Oh, that can go away. So can those. You brought you water. Oh, your neck is torn open. You need cleaning? Okay. Ton here is cleaning patient. Yeah, but the old design done. There's also there. Well, actually, off the top of my head, they sang hi in YouTube chat. Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 different designs that still work. There's the one where you block the bridges, and then there's 2 different ways that you can make a minecart generators work. But because if you have flow and river, bridges don't block flow; they just block the water go away, but flows continue. So if you just have like 5 water wheels on a river that's flowing, and then you block the river, they keep flowing forever. But the old school pump method no longer works. It sort of worked in version 47, and now I would say it just doesn't work anymore. But I don't like using those because they just feel cheaty, says the guy building impulse ramps. But I digress. Nobody's perfect. Yes. 100%, absolutely, you do 1000% need them. They are absolutely 100% vital. Fuck you. Because dwarves have a need that they no longer do automatically, which they used to do in older versions, which is they would go pray. They no longer, or not pray, they need to socialize. And they don't have a way of socializing unless you give them a way to socialize. So in order for them to be able to socialize, they have to go to a zone where they can speak with one another and make friends. They have to do that in a social zone. A social zone could be a guild hall, it could be a tavern. Although, also, please don't call inns and taverns new. For the love of God. They were added, like, in 2017. 16? 16. Alongside, there was the same time as Sieges, so 17, yeah. Well, you attacking other things. Please don't call that new. You're making my hair get grayer. Thinking about it. But 100%, yeah, no, they are absolutely vital. To wait for them to build these first. New to you? Well, I don't care about you. I care about my sanity, and you're currently doing quite a bit of damage to it. I have enough gray hair already. I don't need you to make me gain more. Do you need all of them? Hey, chat, you guys want to help me out here? Can y'all help me out here, please? Please. I'm going to put my militia captains in bedrooms right here. And Mr. Angry McGee right there. Imagine being the basement bedroom. How many chuggas have come before the choo-choo? 4? I would say. And why is it an even number? Because there's a chugga on each side of the wheels, and wheels are even number. Checkmate, motherfucker. Does the stairway count as a door? 4 walls count as an enclosed room. Game doesn't process the layer above as open, meaning you don't actually need a door, you just need an enclosed room. I have a snatcher who's a novice carpenter. See, 2 snatchers. They're both novice carpenters. And I'm going to go down into here. And make a little farm field back here. This is going to be for my 1 black mamba. Dwarves yeah, that's another thing. Like, guild halls. Guild halls are both, like, the most useful thing in the game and also one of the more annoying things. Not that it's a bad thing. Dwarves will demand guild halls after a while when there's 10 dwarves with a particular skill. But guild halls are amazing because guild halls... Well, here's one. Like this. If you make them so that anybody in the fortress can go into them, which this one isn't, they act like schools. So dwarves will go into the guild hall and then teach each other skills in that guild hall for what the guild hall is based on. So like a dwarf with no metalsmithing skill whatsoever, and then a dwarf with legendary weaponsmithing will go into the weaponsmith. They'll both go into the weaponsmiths guild, and then the one with legendary weaponsmithing will teach the other one basic weaponsmithing. And then if you set it up correctly, and make like a big guild hall at the very beginning of every fort, then every single dwarf will end up with some level of weaponsmithing. I'm just using that as an example. And then when every single dwarf has some level of weaponsmithing, then all of your artifacts end up being weapon artifacts. Stuff like that. Like there's some really neat things with guild halls. I really like guild halls. Is this 2 Z-Vaults high? Yes, it is. So this will be a roof, technically. Okay, well, let's just knock this off the end. Trying to think how I'm not going to screw this up. Just knock out those wall corners and then plunk those in later. Oops, wrong tool. Then go here. Do this. And that. And this and that. Midnight had to redeem? Oh, shit. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It hasn't even gone off my screen yet. I just hadn't looked up since they redeemed it. Midnight, what kind of dwarf would you like? Presser, Gelder, or Miller? Do you want a beard or no beard? Also, yeah. I should make an engravers guild. Is something I should do. Let's see. You said Miller. I got 1 Miller Asob. Gelder. I got Ton. She's happy. And Presser. I have no pressers. I do have a Shearer. Let's do the first one you said then. Midnight. Actually, this is Midnight the 2nd. I wouldn't want to call you Mid. Is grounded in reality and friendly. and always tries to say nice things to others, does not go out of his way to help others, and is often cheerful, isn't particularly ambitious, and isn't particularly curious about the world. He tends to cling tightly to ideas, is open to changing his mind, and tends to be passive in discussions. He has a noticeable lack of perseverance, and he tends to be swayed by emotional appeals. He lowers his eyes when he's trying to remember something and needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Doesn't really care about anything anymore. Dreams of... well, he doesn't dream of anything. Personally, he has a deep dislike of the natural world and doesn't particularly value respect commerce. He likes andesite and gold, as well as moss opal and unicorn horn and rami fabric, and the color pale brown. Picks and shields and splints and guinea fowls for their social nature. And the sound of the tulip of sparkling and impossible prefers to consume a giant mast lovebird and mussel and amaranth beer, and absolutely hates jumping spiders. I've been streaming for 8 hours, chat. Ain't that wild? Well, I mean, they like to be outside, but they dislike the concept of the natural world, right? It's a pretty wide difference. You are married to Zulban, who's a stonecrafter. And of course, you're a member of the Head Cave of Clobbering. It's good to have you. I feel like you know the answer to this question, and me answering it for you would not help. Bastet. Because they designed them that way. So how many books do I have in this library? 7? Oh, that sucks. Orc is a professional observer. I don't know why. That's never going to get normal to me. Let's see if amethyst people can study. Ew, imagine being from the US. Gross. Fuck you. Is your dwarf still alive? No. Wanted to confirm, but no. Feel bad for these guys. They're not capable of pondering. At least they're... At least you're capable of reading. Also, imagine presuming somebody's from America in the year 2025. Yikes. You started it, Fakil. No, but you can move up here if you, like, marry somebody in the country. Shaliath. I don't want Oregon. You guys have too many neo-Nazis. I wish I was joking, but why is it all the crazy white soccer moms who, like, hate vaccinations from Oregon? There's so many of them, to the point where it's a stereotype. Anyway, sorry. Politics. It happens. I see where the light's shining through. I'll go close the door. That should fix the light beams on the green screen. You know, life makes a lot more sense if you just replace the word politician with pelican all the time. Makes things a lot simpler. Oh, it's true. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that eloping parts of another country into a country is a good thing, even if things are better here right now. I don't think that's a good thing. So can we take Oregon? No? Asterisk? I do like pelicans, though, so maybe I shouldn't call them pelicans. Anyways. I'm going to start a stopwatch now that doesn't exist. It's imaginary. To see how long it takes for me to have to ban a second person today because of politics coming up. Politics has always been allowed. But here's the thing. If you say something fucking stupid, you won't speak again in my chat. I have a very simple set of rules, which is just be sane, be an adult, and be tactful. And if you're not capable of one of those things, then you just cease existing in my chat forever. And then everybody's life goes on. And I live in peace. So, you know, you can talk about literally whatever you want. But if you're a dipshit, bye! You know, honestly, at this point, don't come to Canada. Try and make your country less terrible. Because we got enough problems up here. God damn it. Because most people can't afford to move to Canada. Or at least that's what your wife says. You know what's funny, Corpse? Is I know that you manually censored that because I don't have any censored swear words in my chat. Except for some slurs, but... So I know that you, like, hit the star button a bunch of times, which is just funny to me for some reason. Okay, let's try and get this Miss Generator, Miss Jenny built. Wooden corkscrew. Wooden pipe section. The question is, do I actually have any wood? I actually don't know. Oh, no, we do. We sure as heck do. Did something happen earlier? Oh, just somebody was being attacked. Let's moron. I wouldn't say something happened. I mean, yes, plenty of things have happened earlier. It depends on what you were referring. Yeah, no, I did have to ban someone today. Nothing terrible, though. Just one person being a twat. Forgotten beast named Icklist has come, a great one-eyed ankylosaurid. It has a twisting jointed trunk, and it belches and croaks. Its russet scales are blocky and set far apart. Beware its poisonous stinger. Okay, well. Get 'em, boys! Or don't. That pink jar is healing goo, yes. Haha! Uh-oh. That looks bad. Really, really bad. Oh, I see, because it kicked you in the head. Oh. Which shattered your spine. But then you did have the last laugh, though, because you were able to say, this is my fight, too. This might require an answer. And then... Okay, I'm not going to bother trying to get out of the way. I'll just do this. Bites the Forgotten Beast in the right rear foot, tearing the fat. What happened to the Napalm Monster? So the Napalm Monster set the cages that I had next to a cliff to throw the zombies off of on fire, which released the zombies, and then one of them kicked it in the head and it exploded. I'm not joking. It knocked one of the zombies up a tree and then kicked it. Please tell me you got it. No, you didn't. Well, that's unfortunate. Seems like you... Nope, you didn't get it. Did you get it? Did you get it? No. Did you get it? Nope. Did you get it? Ah, you got it. Nope, you didn't get it. That was the last Forgotten Beast. Nope, you didn't get... Who did get it? A Swords Dwarf stabs it in the head with a pale metal spear. Okay, so... Yeah, there you are. You got it. Look at you! I'm so proud of you. Well done there, Dwarf. Now go back to training. So I'm gonna try and say this in as plain English as possible. Do you think that fire is a solid object? Because if the answer is yes, well, in Dwarf Fortress, the answer is most assuredly no. Things that are not solid are very fragile and brittle. Forgotten Beasts that are made of fire aren't strong in the I have lots of health sense. They're strong in that they're really hard to hit because they basically have a smoke screen at all times because they set things around them on fire. And they're really hard to hit because of the fact that generally things that are on fire have a hard time hitting other things. So because they're really difficult to hit, most situations where, you know, you have to fight with them end up in just that the dwarves losing. Unless they position really well. So they all have really weak heads, is the actual answer. Okay, how come this is unreachable? What the hell? What the fuck are my miners up to? Go mine, you lazy schwit. Please. Basically, a single wooden bolt could kill a beast made of fire, is how weak they are. I mean, if you just kick a fire, it's probably going to go out, right? So that's also probably a pretty good comparison. Also, speaking of fire, the fire beast also set a lot of my trees on fire, so it's okay. There's no elves nearby anyway. Vertical axles. Vertical axle. Who would win? Whoever got the first hit. Whoever got the first hit in. Literally, the first one to hit the other one wins. That is a reaction time contest. The first one to land a hit wins the fight. Hands down. No question. Not even a contest. The first one to land a hit wins the fight. Let's see, did they start making these pumps yet? Sort of. They've made a pump worth of parts. What kind of blocks do I have here? And I would like to play some Goblin Camp today, so I think I will finish this structure here because we've made a lot of progress today. Population hasn't gone up enough, but hey, all things considered, we've done some pretty good progress today. Also, shoutouts to this dwarf training, being a Marks dwarf. Look at that. Oh yeah, also, Fakio, if you haven't seen this, this is the game in ASCII now. Isn't it beautiful? I think it's beautiful. I actually really like the way this fort looks in ASCII, now that I look at it. Just those walls look really cool. Although it does expose just how upset this fort is, which is fine. You got into Dwarf Fortress literally a week ago, late to the party. That's fine. We're all technically late to the party. Discovered it on your channel and you've been enjoying it and listening to your interviews with the devs as well as your tips. You're currently playing version 47. Oh, I have a question. Why? Is it you don't want to buy the more modern update? Or, I mean, Mayday did a great job on the premium graphics too. He was one of the artists who worked on the premium tile set. Did all the color paletting and a bunch of other things. No, it hasn't. It's gone down. We were at 120 when I started today. Fuck you. Full of water, and water hitting things will shove them. If it shoves them into walls, it can hurt and kill. Yeah, I made water cannons once, and we were killing things by slamming them into lead walls. That was a fun fort. I need to do that again. I actually killed some demons by slamming them into walls. Another goddamn forgotten beast has come. This one is a furry named Ari, who's everybody's favorite waifu from League of Legends. And she apparently is an assassin bug in this universe, which is a three-eyed assassin bug. It has a round shell, and it undulates rhythmically, and has a bronze exoskeleton, which is wrinkled. Ari's different than I remember. I'm sorry for your loss, Elesser. Also, it's moving pretty quick. It's either that or it's that one song by Bloodywood, Ari. Although I think it's called Ari Ari. Anyway, it's a good song. You know, I don't mind the keyboard controls. I think they're fine. I also don't miss them at all. I will never fully... Like, there's a lot of things about older versions of the game that I like. But there's one that outweighs them all by a mile. It does not matter how much I miss a few of the odd specific things about older versions of the game. Version 50 and beyond is superior to all of them. For one simple reason. Frame rate. Just for how much better it runs, it's not worth the mild losses of some of those mechanics. It does not matter. I just realized I haven't explored a chunk of this cavern yet. What the fuck? Have I not explored a chunk of cavern yet? Get over here, you stupid bug. Or don't. Okay, fine. I'll come visit you again. Doesn't CPU have help with that as well? Well, as I've explained it a bunch of times even today, I've been playing version 47 for NoClip's documentary about Dwarf Fortress because they hired me to make footage for them. Oops, you got a dwarf that fell in. That's fine. Two of them, actually. Oh, it fell into the water. And so I have the direct comparison with how poorly that version runs. And to give you an idea, version 50 runs at about, you know... Well, I'm at 62 frames a second right now with 100 dwarves on a much bigger map than I ever would have played in older versions. That's Dodok. Whereas in version 47... with 100 dwarves, you're lucky if you're pulling 40 FPS on this rig. On a map this big. Might even be lower than 40 FPS on a map this big. So it highly depends on what you value. I don't particularly value... Well, I mean, I do value memories. Memories are lovely, but I value frame rate beyond all else. I mean, see, here's the thing. LSer. I could tell you that DFHack has the ability to enable keyboard control in the current version. I could tell you that, but I won't. You want to know why I don't? Because I don't tell people things when they're being a smug person in my chat. And you're being very smug. So I'm not going to tell you things. I'm also not going to help you. I'm also not going to tell you that you could re-enable keyboard mode with DFHack a second time. However, I will tell you that version 50 runs significantly better than version 47, so if you're smart, you wouldn't play it. That's all. Weird, right? Odd. Does a game like this benefit? The game's speed is the frame rate. So the higher the frame rate, the faster the game runs at. So it depends on if you value your time. Does this game benefit by higher than 30 frames a second? Yeah, because the game moves faster. I consider that a benefit. I still can't believe, like, I've been settled in this now for, like, 10 years in this cavern. And I haven't explored this corner yet. There's a whole corner of the map I haven't explored. They winked at me. That's the smuggest emote on Twitch. They said I'm a keyboard user. Winky face. That's being smug. If that ain't being smug, then I don't know what is. Ah. I was wondering if there was another one. False, Quent. Well, they said that they're a keyboard person, followed by Vim statement, followed by winky face. That's literally as smug as you can possibly be. Like, I'm not gonna say what I've said any differently. Like, that kind of just is what it is at that point. And if you get smug responses, well, you shouldn't be surprised. What if it was just really obscure flirting? Then get the fuck off of Twitch and go install Plenty of Fish or something. Because this isn't a dating app. Or, like, go outside. You see, there's the difference between flirting and sexual harassment is flirting requires two parties that are both interested in the subject. Otherwise, it's just sexual harassment. Nasty, thank you very much for the 4th month. Welcome back with Prime. Are any tile icons missing? Actually, there's tile icons missing from the ASCII version. I think. I haven't checked in a while. It's like preference, right? Like a light mode, dark mode thing. Some people prefer the ASCII icons. So wild how, like, the forest just ends over here. Like, genuinely, that's wild to me. Yeah, why would performance be any different? Well, I mean, the other reason you're smug is because you're claiming Vim. You invoked the word Vim. As somebody who is also using Linux, you invoked Vim. But, you know, I was also being sarcastic for a reason because I think sarcasm is fun and I like sarcasm. I mean, the keyboard kink are for those people who make crazy keyboards with like gel caps and all that nonsense. Those are the people with the keyboard kink. All right, let's go up to here. Let's go over to here, unforbid this, go here. Thunk, thunk. We're getting there. Getting there. Did you accidentally put gum into your caps lock key, Nasty? What's my wildest super project in Dwarf Fortress? I kept a fortress alive for almost 500 years once. I built a fishbowl and filled it with demons. I don't know. I generally get bored before I finish any mega. I'm not really a mega project person, I guess. Because believe it or not, people on Twitch and YouTube get really bored of seeing the same scenery every day. So I kind of tend to stop playing fortresses before they become mega projects. And move on to the next fort. Oh, that's neat. It's the differing colors. That's pretty good. 32 years. Mine usually lasts around 20, generally. The longest fort you had lasted for 3? Hot damn. That's no time at all, man. I really need statues under these, but I kind of don't feel like placing them. Just do rock statues. It'll be quicker. The 7-year itch. What, so after 7 years you get itchy and then you go do something else? A wild boar piglet. Alrighty. Why is there a piglet in my barracks? Alrighty, Black Mamba. You can go here. Now I just need to catch another one. I think terms can be appropriated to whatever you want, within reason, viewer guy. I tend to play this is where questions to me get really frustrating, Fakio. It depends. Sometimes I play 25 forts and 15 adventurers in one world, and sometimes I do 2. It depends. Is the world interesting? Then I stick around. Is the world interesting? Is the world not interesting? Well, then I don't stick around. How good is the trading in Dwarf Fortress? Getting better with every patch. Kind of simplistic. Important, though. The diplomacy is fucking terrible. There is none. You're either at war or you're not, and you can't stop a war once it's started. Just like real life. I mean, what? We've also got another artifact that just began. Craft store shop. Is building wealth a thing? Yes. It's like whenever people ask me about my, like, play style. Peace outside. You're gonna play DF? Alrighty. Well, down is generally a pretty good direction to start. Showeth. I would generally recommend against digging sideways because that's usually how you end up digging underneath trees and then causing holes to appear in your ceiling. There you go, corpse. Made it home. Congratulations on a successful travel home. Ah. Here, I'll take notes too. We're in an ad break. Chat, I know only some of you aren't in the ad break. I want to play some Goblin Camp, and I've been streaming for 8.5 hours. So who's up for Goblin Camp? I realize it's not Dwarf, but like, it's a cool game in its own right. I got a little city that I've been building. It's been a good time. I want to play some more of it. So who's up for some Goblin Camp? Well, we'll finish this ad break, and I will finish this mist generator. It's up to me. Nothing is up to me. Except for whether or not I turn the stream on at the beginning of the day. What is Goblin Camp? Ironically, it used to be an ASCII game as well. Now the ASCII version is now called Goblin's Lot, though. It is a city builder game, but a bit of a god game. And I say the word god game enough that somebody in my YouTube comments was like, every time Blind says god game, I take a shot. So, for whatever that means to you. Oh no, you're missing Goblin Camp. I mean, nobody's making you miss Goblin Camp. I would say you're willingly missing Goblin Camp. Still haven't made any of those bloody statues, so I guess we'll just do it this way then. Is anybody coming to fill the goddamn pond? You are! Look at that! Of course, one of the slowest dwarves in the fort decided to do it, and we've made an obsidian crown, which I'm going to give to my mayor. Oh, right. What, Oh, you want me to make togas? Okay, well, I guess I'm making togas then. Silk toga. I'll just say make them easily. 10 of them. That'll be fine. Of course, the slowest dwarf in the fortress is the one that decides, I'm going to go fill this up with a bucket. Cool. 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 Well, think a little bit more populous. Populous, but like town building. Kind of like banished-ish town building, but with some populous-ish skills. All right, well, I will let you do that, and we will complete this on another stream. All right, so I'm going to end the VOD here. Don't run off, though, because the stream is going to keep going. Same with you, YouTube folks. Although I do have to update the name of the game. And whatnot. But we're going to keep playing. And if you leave now, just remember that